Hi, it's Divyajyoti Mahapatra. Welcome to my channel DJM Physics. Students, today's topic is electric field lines or lines of forces. Okay, so this topic is quite different from other topics in physics because it is not at all a numerical kind of thing. It's very important in conceptual point of view. Okay, now what is this? One very known scientist, Michael Faraday, he actually tries to visualize the electric field. Okay, till now only we are finding out the magnitude of electric field by using formula E equal to kq by r square, E equal to f by q naught, or by superposition principle and all that. But till now we don't know how this electric field looks like. Okay, and remember, electric fields are real, they are not imaginary, they are completely real, but we cannot see that. Okay, so to visualize that, to get a picture of that electric field in our mind, which will very much helpful to solve many questions, many concepts in electric and magnetic fields, Michael Faraday introduced this concept of electric field lines. Okay, so very important, remember that these are imaginary lines. Okay, although what it represents, that electric field, that is real, but these electric field lines are imaginary lines. Now let us come to the definition. Okay, what is a definition? Remember, this is since it is imaginary, okay, to draw it, to represent it properly, we should follow some rules. Okay, many books or maximum books have written it as properties of electric field lines and all that, but I will better prefer to tell it as rules of representing a electric field line or representing a electric field using electric field line. These are some rules because these are not really present. Okay, but these rules are made in such a way that the representation should be correct, it should not mislead, it should not tell some wrong information about the field. So there are some rules set. Okay, now let's come to that one after another. First let us come what does this, how we can define this concept. It is defined as the curve along which a small positive charge or test charge would tend to move when free to do so in an electric field. Okay, what does that mean? Let there is a charge here, a source charge. Okay, let a plus q charge is here, it is creating a electric field around itself. Okay, let I want to find the, I want to draw the electric field line for this charge. Okay, so what I will do, I will take a very small test charge. Okay, as you know, test charge defined as which has no electric field of its own. It has a charge, but it is so small that we can assume that it has no electric field of its own. Okay, let us take an test charge here, and this test charge will move, it is a positive test charge. Okay, it should be a positive test charge in whichever direction, in however way it is moving, that will give you the electric field. And obviously we know, since it is positive, this test charge will move like this because it is a positive test charge, so it will move like this here. If you are going to keep it here, it will obviously move like this. If you are going to keep it here, it will move like this. If you are going to keep it here, it will move like this. Okay, so I can tell that the electric field line will look like this at this point. Okay, and if you will draw it completely, then it will look like this, perpendicularly, or I can tell it as radially outward direction. In every direction it is coming in outward direction. Okay, why outward? Because this positive charge will move outward because it is a positive charge. Now you can imagine if what will happen if it is a negative charge. If the source charge is negative, and if you are going to keep a positive test charge here, then what will happen? In which direction it will move? It will move like this. Okay, in whichever, here, in whichever place you may keep, the direction will be like this. Okay, so it will move like this in every direction. So I can tell that the electric field line will be radially inward. Here it is radially outward, and here it is radially inward for a negative charge. If there is a single negative charge, I am telling about isolated charge, means there is only a plus q charge here, there is only a minus q charge here. In that case, what will happen if both the charges will be there, or for system of charges, that will come after some time. Okay. So that is the definition. Okay. It is a line, or it is a way in which a positive test charge would tend to move when free to do so. Remember this is also important point. When free to do so means there should not be any other force acting on this test charge except the force applied by the source charge. Okay, that should be free to move in any direction. Okay, and now in whichever direction it actually moves, that will give the electric, that will give you the electric field line. Okay. Now since I am telling that it is a way of representing a electric field, and electric field is a vector, it should represent two criteria. What are they? Magnitude and direction. Okay. How to find the direction? You have to draw a tangent to the electric field line at a point. What does that mean? Okay, in this given example, these two examples, the electric field lines were straight lines. Okay, but not everywhere. Maybe somewhere the electric field line will be like this. Okay, maybe somewhere. So at any point, if I want to find the direction, what is the direction of the electric field line in this case? Okay, the electric field line is like this. At this point, the direction, if someone will ask, then you have to draw a tangent. This will give the direction of the electric field at this point. Okay, at this point, if someone is asking what is the direction, you have to draw a tangent at that point. So at this point, the direction of the electric field towards this direction. At this point, what is the direction of electric field? You have to draw a tangent here, that is the direction of electric field. So in this given example, the electric field at this point is towards this, at this point towards this, because they are straight line itself, and the tangent to a straight line is the straight line itself. Hence here you don't have to draw the tangent, but here if it is a curve, it is not a straight line. Okay, it is let a curve like this, and you have to find the electric field at this point, then you have to draw a tangent at this point again towards this direction. Okay, so that is how you can find the direction. Now how to find the magnitude? By two ways. Okay, first is we have to remember that the magnitude of the electric field line is magnitude of the electric field is proportional to the number of field lines, or it is relative closeness to the lines. What does that mean? What do you mean by these two lines? This means that if let somewhere you are having 1 coulomb charge, okay, you are having plus 1 coulomb charge, and you are drawing 4 lines here like this. Okay, and when it is given there is a plus 2 coulomb charge here, then you have to draw 8 lines. You have to draw 8 lines. Why? It is proportional. Here there is, for 1 coulomb you are drawing 4 lines, means here for 2 coulomb you have to draw 8 lines. Okay. Again remember, there is no such rule that for 1 coulomb you have to draw 4 lines, or for 1 coulomb you have to draw 2 lines, like that. If you are drawing 2 lines here for 1 coulomb charge, you have to draw 4 lines here. If you are drawing 16 lines here to represent 1 coulomb charge, you have to draw 32 lines here to represent the plus 2 coulomb charge. Okay, that is what this point represents. It is proportional to the number of field lines. Okay, or somewhere in the opposite way also you can understand. Let this charge is not given. Okay, let this charge is not given. Okay, only this 1 coulomb charge is given, and it is given what is the value of q. Then obviously if here 4 line 1 coulomb, then 8 line will be 2 coulomb. Okay, so like that also it can be used. Now the next point is relative closeness of the electric field lines also gives the, not magnitude exactly, but the strength or the order of magnitude. What does that mean? It means let somewhere the electric field lines are drawn like this. Okay, and you can see that here at this point this electric field line is going to be very close to each other at this point. Yes or no? But at this point these are very far away from each other. So if I am representing 2 points here, let I am taking 2 point, one is A here and one B is here. You can see around this point A, these electric field lines are very close to each other, but around this point B, these electric field lines are far away from each other. Okay. So this also represents that at point A, the strength of the electric field is more, and at point B, the strength of the electric field is less. Okay. You don't have to calculate the number of field lines here. Okay. Here also 4, here also 4, if you see, calculate the number, but here see the relative closeness is very high. Okay, they are very close to each other, so the electric field is very strong here, and here the relative lines are very away from each other, so at this point the electric field has a less strength. Okay, so that is one point. The relative closeness of the lines gives the magnitude or order of magnitude, or you can tell strength of the electric field. Now from this point another point can be concluded. What is that? If we have to draw a uniform electric field, how you will draw? Parallel lines. Why? Because uniform means everywhere the electric field is same, means everywhere the relative closeness should be same, and how that can be represented? By parallel lines. Okay, at this point you see, at this point you see, at this point you see, everywhere the around itself, around this point, the relative closeness of the lines must be same, means that only can be represented by parallel lines. Okay, so I can conclude that if you have to represent a very strong electric field, keep the electric field lines very close to each other. If you have to represent a weak electric field, keep the electric field lines away from each other. If you have to represent a uniform electric field, then keep these electric field lines parallel to each other. Okay. Now let us come to the next other properties. Okay, and continue this video till the end, because at the end, towards the end of this class, I have given some points, some properties which are skipped in many books, many reference book it is skipped, but they will be very useful to solve questions in board as well as in entrance exam. So let us come to the next properties or next rules to draw the electric field lines. So the next property is electric field line always starts from positive charge, okay, and ends at negative charge. It means whenever you are seeing a positive charge, the electric field line should always go away from it, maybe by a straight line or some other charges are there, then it may go like this, but the direction will be somewhere, some in this direction or in this direction or in this direction. It should be always away from the positive charge. And if it is a negative charge, not a isolated, I am not talking about a isolate positive. If it is isolate positive, it cannot be like this, it must be radially outward. Okay, but let in a system of charges, a positive charge is like this, then the arrow must be given outward direction for a positive charge, and for a negative charge it is always inward. Okay, it may be like this, but it will be inward. It may be some other shape, but it may be, it must be inward direction. Okay, again I am not talking about isolate positive charge or isolate negative charge. It may be isolated, it may be in other system. Here I am talking about some other system in which the electric field may be like this. Okay, so but the direction should always be away. If it is a positive, it is a negative, it should be always inward. Okay. Now the next point, electric field lines can never form a loop. Why? How we can expect a loop? Loop means a complete circle or a complete closed path, not maybe a circle, but any closed path which starts from this point, moves, and it again going to end at this point. Now it is not going to form a loop, because it always starts from positive and ends at negative. Always, it always come from positive and ends at negative, like this. Always starts from positive and ends at negative. Always. It means we will draw this diagram. What I am drawing, it is a diagram for, or it is a drawing of electric field lines when two opposite charges of equal strength are kept here. So it is plus q, it is minus q. Okay, and here you can see how it can form a loop. It is going from positive to negative, but it is not possible that it can come from negative to positive again. Is it possible? No, because that is a property here. For it must start from positive and ends at negative. It will never start here. So how it will form a loop? Okay, so it cannot form a loop is another way to say this line. It always starts from positive, ends at negative. If it is a isolated positive one, then it will start here and it will go to infinite. Yes, no, it will go to infinite. Why up to infinite? Let me again tell you. Because the electric field is going to be 0 at infinite only. Why? Because E equal to k q by r square for a point charge, and where E equal to 0 when r is going to be infinite. So these will go up to infinite. Again it cannot form a loop. Similarly, if you will take a isolate negative charge, it will come from infinite and ends at that charge. So in that case also it is not going to form a loop. Okay, in any type of charge system you can take, and you will never find that electric field is going to form a loop. And why it is happening? Because it cannot start from negative and ends at positive. Okay, and here one point I want to mention, that magnetic field lines, this we are studying about electric field lines, but the magnetic field lines always form a closed loop. Okay, that you have to remember. For now we will discuss that while we will study about the magnetic field lines in the later on chapters. Okay, now another point is that, or another property is that, they can never intersect each other. Okay, why? Let there is a electric field at this point like this, and another electric field is here like this. Let two electric fields are drawn like this, and let we are considering that they can intersect for a while. Okay, but according to the definition of the electric field line, we know that the electric field direction at a point can be given by the tangent at that point. At this point draw a tangent, it will give the direction. At this point draw a tangent, it will give the direction. So at the point of intersection you are getting two direction of electric field. How is that possible? How you can get two direction of electric field at a point? Okay, again remember, if there were two electric field also, if let there is at a point there are two electric field lines, but you cannot see this E1 and E2, you cannot see that. In mathematics you are calculating this, but finally what the net electric field only you can find. It should be represented by this direction, not this and this. So at a point the net electric field should be only one, not in two directions. Okay, so what will happen when you are assuming that two field lines, let it is the first electric field line, this is the second electric field line, they are intersecting at each other, at a point, then at the point of intersection you will get two direction of electric field at the same point. Okay, which is not possible, and hence electric field line can never cross each other. This is a very important point. By using this we are going to derive another property from this property itself. Okay, now the next property is, electric field line always try to decrease their length, or I can tell they always try to what you can tell, they always try to contract lengthwise. What do you mean by contract lengthwise? Let these are the electric field lines. Okay, this is the length of the electric field line. Okay, this electric field line will try, actually it will not try because it does not exist, but its property should be like that, that it will try to contract itself like a rubber. Okay, if you are stretching a rubber, what it will always try, it will try to always decrease its length, or it will always try to contract its length. Okay, so it must try to contract itself or its length. Why? Because if it contracts, then only this positive and negative will come closer, because we always know that if it is a positive charge, it is a negative charge, they are going to attract each other. How they can attract? When these lengths are going to decrease. If each of the electric field line will try to decrease their length, then only these positive and negative charge can come each other close to each other, or they can attract. Okay. So in books it is written that the electric field lines have a tendency to contract lengthwise, and this explains the attraction of two opposite charges. But I will rather prefer to tell it in the opposite way, means since we know that two opposite charges attract each other, okay, we are bound to take a property of the electric field line while representing it, that it will contract lengthwise. Okay, both the statements are true, but it is better to tell in the second way. Okay, although in the book it is written in the first way. Now let us try to draw the electric field lines for two positive charges placed nearby. Okay, let there are two positive charges like this. Here there is a positive charge, okay, and here there is a positive charge placed nearby. Okay, and let both of them are having the same magnitude for now, plus q, here also plus q. What will happen with different magnitude? We will again discuss that. Now what will happen? Let us for a second let us forget that this electric charge is there, only one electric charge is here. So how we should represent the electric field line? Like this, radially outward electric field lines. Okay, if only this one charge. Now similarly, if this charge is only there, if this charge is only there, it is not there. First, while you assume that this charge is not there, then its electric field line should again be represented like this. I am exactly taking 8 electric field lines for both, because both have the same magnitude. Now what will happen? Now let us consider both are present in this space. Now this electric field line will go like this, and this electric field line will come like this. Okay, and they will intersect here. But is it possible? No, because just now I tell that they cannot intersect each other. It means this will come in this way, and at this point, okay, at this point it will move like this. Similarly, this will come like this, and at this point it will bend. Okay, means the electric field line will look like this. It is not going to be a straight line, it is going to be a like this. Similarly, these two, they are going to be like this. Okay, similarly these two, they are going to be like this. They are going to repel each other, and they are going to be parallel here. They are not going to cross each other. They will go to infinite, up to infinite, but they cannot cross each other. Okay, similarly these lines cannot be like this. These lines will be like this. Okay, you can explain each and every one in the same concept. Okay, they are going to be like this. They cannot be straight line, because if they are straight line here, they are going to cross each other, which is not a property of electric field line. Electric field line can never cross each other. So if there are two positive charges are there, okay, of same magnitude, then the electric field line should looks like this. Okay, and why? If the question is why, because if they are straight lines, they are going to cross each other, and that is not a way to represent the electric field line. Here another point you have to remember, that this same point that I have explained here is given in the books as electric field lines put lateral pressure on the nearby lines, and it represents, or it shows that two positive charges repel each other. But again, I will tell it in the opposite direction. Since two opposite charges repel each other, these two lines must be represented in such a way that they should repel each other in lateral direction. Okay. Here comes the 2 points which are normally skipped from the books. First is that if there is a line joining the two charges, let there is a plus q charge here and some let minus q dash charge here. We can take it minus q also, let some different charge of different magnitude is here with negative sign, and let a electric field line is drawn like this, not like this exactly, like this. Electric field is drawn like this here. Okay, and what is the line joining the two charges? This is the line joining the two charges. Okay, and since it is like this, and let another electric field line is here, another field line is here like this. Whatever you have drawn here, you have to draw the exactly same thing below the line. They must be symmetric about these lines joining the two charges. Means here also you have to draw a line like this to be symmetric to this line. Also you have to draw a line here like this, okay, to be symmetric to this line, and also you have to draw a line here to be symmetric to this line. Okay. Now let us come to the next point. It tells that whatever is applicable for a point charge, that is also applicable for a system of charges. What does that mean? It means let there is a plus 2q charge here and a minus q charge here. Let I am representing this minus q charge by 4 lines, okay, and that must comes towards the charge because it is a negative charge, and hence they must come towards the charge. And the electric field lines also should be symmetric. Means if I am drawing the two lines like this, draw two lines like that. And here I have to represent the electric field line by 8 lines, because since this magnitude is twice of that magnitude, here it is minus q, so here I have to represent it by 8 lines. So let us represent it like this. Eight lines, okay. Whatever you are drawing here also it must be symmetric, so like that, but it will be in outward direction because the charge is positive, sign of the charge is positive. Now we know that if plus or minus charges are there, the electric field line should start from plus and should end at minus. So let us draw it like this. It is going to end here, it will start here and it is going to end here. Similarly it will start here and it is going to end here. Similarly this will start here and it is going to end here. This will start here, it is going to end here, like this, okay. And why here this much space? Because obviously here since the magnitude is more, the charge line density, the electric field line density should be more, and here it should be less, so it is like that. But there is a problem here. What is the problem? What is the system of charge here? The system of charge is this total system is the system of charges, okay. Now what is the total charge of this system is going to be plus 2q minus q, so that is going to be plus q, okay. Now what there should be, how the electric field line for this plus q is there? If we will look from here, there are 4 lines coming, okay, 4 lines coming away. So for this system, these lines are inside the system, okay, these 4 lines are coming. So you are drawing your electric field line like this. For the system, you are drawing your electric field lines like this. So why it should be like this? Why from this direction only? What happened to this direction? Why not in that direction? How it should represent? How it should actually represent a plus q charge? If it is a plus q charge and I am representing 2 lines like this, I should represent 2 lines like this. It should be the actual representation, but why like this? So there is some mistake here. Okay, let us check whether the number of lines are correct or not. It is correct. Why? Because for minus q charge, if you are drawing 4 lines towards the minus q charge, for plus q there should be 4 lines, okay. But it should look like this. So how it will look like that? If this line I am taking from here and I will make it like this, and this line I will take it from here and I will make it like this, okay. Now you see this is the system, okay, and how these lines are looking like. You cannot see how it come inside the system, okay. Inside this system how it come you cannot look. So from this, for this system, how the charge lines are, one charge line is coming away from here one is coming away from here like this. So one is coming away from here, one is coming away from here, one is coming away from here, and another one is not coming from here, another one is coming from here like this. So another one is coming like that. So now it is correct. Okay, so it is understood. So this will how the electric field line will look like, and this point can be written or can be remembered as whatever is applicable for a single charge or to that should also be applicable for the system of charges. Okay, in some books it is also represented as near view and far view. This is what is called near view, means if you are looking inside the system, and this is what called far view, when you are looking from very far away. You are not going to look this plus 2q and minus q, you are just going to look plus q, the net charge or the system of charge. Okay, some books also represents this as near view look and far view look. Okay, so the next is electric field lines never pass through a conductor in electrostatic condition and always normal to its surface. What does that mean? If there is a solid conductor is there, or any kind of conductor is there, it may be a solid one, it may be a hollow one, electric field line cannot pass like this, not like this, not like this, it cannot pass through the conductor. Why? Because inside the conductor the electric field must be zero. And why? That I will explain you while I will explain the Gauss law. Okay, so here you have to just remember now. And what is this electrostatic condition? Electrostatic condition means no charge, no current is there. Okay, remember, I cannot tell that the electrons are at rest, because inside the conductor the electrons are not rest, they are arbitrarily moving, the free electrons are moving arbitrarily, but not producing any current means they are not moving towards a particular direction. Okay, we will discuss it in the current chapter also, electric current chapter, that if the electrons move in a particular direction, then only they are going to produce a current. So here you have to remember that there is no electric field through a conductor. Okay, when there is no current, okay, in this conductor. If there is current, then the situation is completely different. You cannot use the laws of electrostatics, electric field, Coulomb's law and all that in that case. Okay, and the second point is always normal to its surface, means if there is a conductor and if you are going to put it inside an electric field, then the electric field will always be perpendicular to it. Perpendicular to it means it will be like this and it will be like this. Okay, it will always be perpendicular, like at this point what is a perpendicular line will be like this, at this point what is a perpendicular line will be like this. Okay, if the conductor is like this, okay, then at this surface it will be perpendicular like this. Okay, I can explain here why, because let us assume that this is a conductor, okay, and an electric field is there like this along this direction with an angle theta, not perpendicular. Let us assume I can divide this electric field into two components, one is E cos theta along this direction and E sin theta along this direction. And again we know that if there will be an electron we are going to place in here, then it will experience a force along this direction, because electric field, if we place a negative charge inside a electric field, then it is going to experience a force in the negative direction if it is a negative charge. Okay, so here also the same scenario is there. If there is a electric field component on the surface, the electrons are going to move along this direction and there will be a current in this direction. Okay, but I already told there is no current on the surface, there is just a there is just a conductor you have taken in which there is no current. Okay, it is in electrostatic condition. Okay, and in that case it is not possible that the current will flow or the electrons will move, because if electrons will move in a particular direction in this way, then the current will flow, and that is not possible because it is given that it is a electrostatic condition, means there is no current flowing through the conductor. Okay, so these are all the points that we discussed. Now let us go to some interesting numericals. Okay, So it is problem number 1. Two charges are given, Q1 and Q2, and a electric field line is given like this. The question is, which of the following is correct? Q1 magnitude greater than Q2 magnitude, Q1 magnitude equal to Q2 magnitude, Q1 magnitude less than Q2 magnitude, and information not sufficient. Okay. So in the first look, you may think that Q1 magnitude equal to Q2 magnitude. Why? Because here also one line is coming out and here one line is coming inside. Okay. But it is not correct. Why? Because you have to also remember another point, that is charge that is density of the electric field lines, or the relative closeness of the electric field line. Okay. Now let us understand how to solve it. This is the line joining the two charges, and I have already explained in the properties that the electric field line must be symmetric to each other, and here if this line is like this, I have to draw the electric field line along this line like this. Okay. See, it is not given like this, it is given like this. Okay, it is not given like this, be careful. Okay. So, and here you can see this angle, okay, or this distance between these two lines is smaller than the distance between these two lines. Yes or no? Or you can understand it in angle point of view. Here the angle is small, let this angle is theta and let this angle is beta. So here the angle is less and here the angle is more, but what is the total angle available is 360 degree. So let, for example, it is small angle, let it is 30 degree and let it is 60 degree. So if it is 30 degree, then how many number of lines possible around it? 360 divided by 30. Okay, means there are 12 lines possible, 1, 2, 3, 4, like a 12 line you can draw. But here if this angle is 60 degree, let, for example, it is not twice, not nothing like that, but let it is greater than this. Okay. So if it is 60 degree, how many lines you can draw? Only 6 lines, 360 divided by 60. So where you will get the more density or more closeness of the line? Here in the 360 degree you are drawing 12 lines, here in 360 degree you are drawing only 6 lines. So obviously the closeness or relative closeness or the line density will be more in this case. Okay. So Q1 magnitude must be greater than Q2 magnitude. Yes or no? Q1 magnitude must be greater than Q2 magnitude. That is the first thing. Okay. So don't just only go for the number of electric field lines. You have to also look for the density of the electric field line. Okay. And this point I have already explained while introducing the concept. Now let us come to the next question. So this is our question number 2. A diagram is given and it is asked what is the value of Q1 by Q2. Okay. 2, minus 2, 1 by 2 and minus 1 by 2. Okay. This is for this question. So this is question number 2. Okay. Now it is very simple, I think. See how count the number here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, because it is given all round. So there are 6 number of lines here for Q1 and there is 1, 2, 3, 4. Only, okay, sorry, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 number of lines around Q1 and around Q2 there is only 4 number of lines. So obviously the magnitude, because we know that the number of field lines is proportional to magnitude of the charge. Okay. So by using this we can tell that the magnitude of Q1 is twice of the magnitude of Q2. So what will be the answer? It will be Q1 by Q2 will be equal to 2, not 2 actually, minus 2. Why minus 2? Why not 2? Because it is not given modulus. If the question is Q1 by Q2 modulus, then it is equal to 2. But here it is given Q1 by Q2, and it is obvious that from Q1 the electric field line are going out and to Q2 the electric field lines are coming, and hence it is a positive charge, and it is a negative charge. So obviously it will be minus 2. Okay. Q1 is positive and Q2 is negative, so it is be minus 2, and due to the magnitudes also. Okay. Now in this diagram, what is the value of Q1 by Q2? It is again the same concept. there are two charges, again just count it. Okay, it will be the number of field lines coming out of Q1 will be equal to, let us count from here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 3 3 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. Sorry. So from Q1 number of lines originated is 14, and from Q2 number of lines coming towards Q2 is 1 2 3 4 5 6. These lines are coming like this towards Q2, so it is 6. So Q1 by Q2 is going to be obviously 14 by minus 6. Okay, because again the modulus is not given, or I can write it as minus 7 by 3. So this is the answer. Okay, now let us go to the next question. A diagram is given like this. Okay, and here these lengths are given, the separation between these lines are given. Okay, they are 2 centimeter, and here along this side the separation is 1 centimeter. Okay, but along this side they are parallel to each other, along this side also they are parallel to each other. There are 2 points given, A and B. So about A the electric field is parallel, means electric field lines are parallel, means the electric field is uniform, and about B also these are parallel, so that is also uniform. But here the separation is twice than the separation of this. That is the important point. Now what is the question? Let us see. If the force experienced by the alpha particle, okay, there is alpha particle here, it is given a alpha particle here is this much, it is given, then find the magnitude and direction of the force experienced by the electron placed at the point A. At the point A there is an electron is placed. The force on this alpha particle placed at B is given, and it is asked what is the force experienced by this electron at this point. Both the magnitude and direction we have to find. Okay. Now inside a electric field, if there is a charge, then obviously the formula we are going to use is this, F equal to Q into E. So no, actually F vector equal to Q into E vector. Okay, or in scalar form if you are writing F equal to QE, then you have to also remember that if the charge is negative, it will move in the opposite direction of the electric field. This concept I am telling about. If there is a uniform electric field and there is a plus Q charge, there will be a force towards this direction and the magnitude is QE. If there is a negative Q charge, then there will be a force towards this direction in the opposite direction of electric field, and the magnitude is going to be QE. Okay. Now here the question, in both the cases the electric field is not E, remember. If I am considering the electric field E here, then here I have to consider the electric field as E by 2, because you should remember the point that if the electric field line density is more, then the electric field is more, and the field density or the relative closeness gives the strength of the electric field. Okay. So where the electric field is more? At the point B. At the point A, electric field is less, remember, and exactly half of it the strength at B, because it is 2 centimeter and here the separations are 1 centimeter. Don't see that it is bigger one and here electric field is more. We don't have to find bigger or smaller, we have to check relative closeness. Here the relative closeness is more, so here the electric field is more. So let us assume that at A electric field is E, okay, and obviously then at B electric field will be equal to 2E, or you can assume E here and half E here, okay, anyway, at 2E. So now what is the force experienced by this alpha particle? Alpha particle means it will must have a charge of plus 2E, okay. So it is given that force experience is this. Now if we use the formula F equal to Q into E, F is given as 6.4 into 10 to the power minus 18, Q is 2E, so it is 2 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 into E. Okay, here the electric field is actually 2E. Okay, here the electric field is E and here 2E, so it is Q into E, but here in case of you have to write it 2E, because here the electric field we have assumed is 2E. So this is given. Now what I have to find? We have to find the force at this point. Okay, so what will be the force at this point? The force at this point means on an electron will be equal to, let me write it here. Okay, let us write it here, that the force will be equal to, let us write it as some F dash, okay, the f dash will be equal to, again q into e. So q is e here, okay, e, or I can write it as 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19, okay, e, q into e. What is the e here? Here the electric field value is e, okay. So these two equation we know, we have to find f dash and it is given, okay. So we can find the formula. How to find? We have to find the value of f dash. So from these two equation, if you are going to divide, I think it will be easier, okay. So let us divide and find the value. So these two equation we know, this is equation 1, this is equation 2, okay. This is the force experienced by the alpha particle, this is the force experienced by this particle, okay. So if we will divide equation 1 divided by equation 2, or you can do one thing, find the value of e here and then put the value of e, you can find the answer, same thing, but I am just going to divide. If you will divide, it will be 6.4 into 10 to the power minus 18 divided by f dash is will be equal to 2 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 into 2e divided by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 into e. So e cancel out, this value and this value is cancelling out. So f dash will be equal to 6.4 into 10 to the power minus 18 divided by this 2 into 2 is 4. So divided by 4, and it will be equal to, this will be 1.6. So we got f dash equal to how much? 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 18 Newton. So this is the answer, okay. Now let us come to the next question. This is the next question. There are two charges given, minus 3q and plus q, and now you have to draw the electric field lines for this system, and it is also given that you have to represent plus q with 6 electric field lines. Means for this you have to draw 6 field lines. Means obviously for this, since it is 3 times of this magnitude, so here you have to draw 18 field lines, but I am not going to solve it. You have to find this answer from this same video, okay. You go through the video, there is a point while I have described the properties of the electric field lines, I have solved a similar kind of question there, okay. You search it and this is your assignment. So here there is a metallic plate given and a plus q charge is here. You have to draw the electric field lines. Remember, I have already told that electric field line is always perpendicular to the surface of a metallic plate or to a surface of a conductor. Since it is a metallic plate, it is a conductor. So how to draw? And it will obviously start from here. But remember, since it is a positive charge, it will induce a negative charge here. It will induce a negative charge along this direction and a positive charge along this direction, because it will attract all the electrons towards that side, okay, towards the upward direction, and hence there is a deficiency in the downward part and there will be a negative charge here, okay. So see, the electric field will come away from this positive charge and it will enter the, or it will come towards this, because there is a negative charge induced here, okay. And how much is the negative charge is going to be? Minus q. But remember very carefully that the electric field lines are going to be perpendicular at this surface of the metallic plate. So here always these are going to be perpendicular lines. It is going to enter perpendicularly here, okay. These all are going to be perpendicular. So like that we can draw. Now the next point, next question is this: if a metallic sphere is placed in a uniform electric field, then which of the following is correct? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which of the electric field line is correct? By looking itself, these two lines are incorrect. Why? Because it is given it is a metallic sphere, means it is a conducting sphere, and we already know that for conducting sphere no electric field line should be inside the sphere, but it is given, so it is incorrect. Now we have two options, but see here again one other property is there, that electric field lines is perpendicular to the surface. It is not perpendicular to the surface, but these are perpendicular to the surfaces. it is coming inside, not coming inside, it is perpendicular to the surface here, it is perpendicular to the surface here, and it is also not passing through the conductor. Here also it is not passing through the conductor, but they are not perpendicular, they are making some different angle. So this is also not possible, and this is the right answer. Okay. Now let us come to the next and the last question. This is our last question. It is given that draw the electric field line for the following sphere. It is given elaborately, I have just make it short. So what is given? There is a sphere. In the upper half of the sphere is having a charge density of plus sigma, surface charge density, and the lower half of the sphere is having a charge density of minus sigma. It means the charge density here and the charge density here is exactly same about this diameter. Okay, means here everywhere there is positive charge, okay, everywhere, and here there is negative charge, and the amount of positive charge here will be equal to amount of negative charge here. So for this system we have to draw the electric field lines. Now how to draw it? We have to use two concepts here, first three concepts here actually. Electric field line should start from positive and set negative. Second, they must be symmetric about this line, okay, and the third one, that we have to also make it correct for this total system of charges. Okay, by keeping that in mind, I can draw the electric field lines like this, starting from here and ending at here. Okay, similarly starting from here and ending at here. I am keeping these lines closer and this line away, because obviously if we go away, we go further on this line, the electric field is going to decrease. Okay, the strength of the electric field line is going to decrease. So here also coming out, here it is coming inside, coming outside, going inside, like that. And what we have to do for the system? You see, this is the system, and what is the net charge on the system? 0. Whatever charge is here, whatever charge, the same charge is here. So there should not be any line like this. You cannot draw these lines like this, means like this. You cannot draw it like this. Why? Because the total electric field of this system is 0. Total charge on this system is 0. Means if you are looking away, this is not at all a charge. This is something where there is no charge exists. Means there should not be any electric field lines coming to this. Okay, as I have explained, whatever property is applicable for a point charge, that is also applicable for a system of charge. So only these lines will be there. Okay, if in question it will come, they will obviously give for some lines here like this. One line they will give like this, one line they will give like this. Okay, they may give like this, or they may also give you like these straight lines, but you have to eliminate all those options. Those are not possible, only these are possible. Inside the system the total charge is 0, hence when you are looking from far away point, or when you are considering the total system, the total number of electric field lines should be 0. Okay, so that's all, and thank you for watching.